You asked about the evacuation, how long. I think the whole issue from the parish's perspective is until we have more knowledge. You know, I did an interview, I think, with Morgan the other day, and he said it's kind of like, you know, when you see a crime or you have a loved one falling on the ground and you're waiting for the ambulance, it seems like it's hours when it could be minutes. And I'm not suggesting this is minutes, but obviously I know because there's nothing you can do to resolve it. You want to be able to get back into your home. You want to be able to us to give you answers specifically as to exact time. The unfortunate part from our perspective is we don't have a lot of that knowledge. And when they got into the cabin and we called that first briefing on Tuesday and we said we're going to have this briefing today and we want to have these routine briefings because we want to give you up-to-date information that we're finding. Although at all of these briefings, I don't think we're going to be able to come and give you the definitive answers that what the problem is and how long it's going to be. For example, we knew when they got into the cavern that the bottom of the cavern had been compromised. Now, we didn't know what exactly had happened at the top of the cavern, but the bottom had obviously had infiltration from somewhere that put sediment on the bottom that originally wasn't there. Originally was brine. So that typically they should have been allowed to have that tube go all the way to the bottom and do the sonar of the entire cabin, but they caught interference. So we say, okay, something's infiltrated the bottom of the cavern, so the bottom of the cavern has been compromised. But today we have new information that the top of the cavern is pretty much intact. Now, I don't know what the answer to that is, and I think some of these people are still studying it. But the reason we're here today is to tell you that information's out there. We want to give you up-to-date information as we're finding it, but I'm not sure that that information provides us any closer or further away from the ultimate answer.
Well, I understand that y'all are getting frustrated. We are getting frustrated.
Man, we know.
Somebody's bound to explode somewhere along the line.
We would love to have you back in your home, but I can tell you.
That's a long time.
I can tell you from our perspective, you know, until we have some more definitive answers, until we can get at least a vent plan in place. Like the gentleman said, you know, is there a chance of some collapse or some adverse, something bad happening by the vent? It may be. So what we want, if it's done improperly, but we hope if we can get the vent plan in place, if nothing bad happens and no subsidence happens, these gentlemen can monitor with their geoprobe the water aquifer, and we believe we have a good vent plan working down the road, and that we believe we're seeing the actual gas come out of the aquifer, getting away from your homes, getting out from underneath your homes. And then we have a better understanding, hopefully soon, about the condition of the sinkhole and the condition of the cavern. Then we may have more information to where we say, okay, we can maybe back off of the mandatory evacuation. But at this time, we just don't have that information. I wish we could. But there was a lot of that's going to drive of when we can say the evacuation is over. One thing I can say is these gentlemen here, and DNR brought in Shaw, and maybe not all the disciplines are here today, the geologists, etc., but they do have a lot of people working on it, and we see that. But next meeting and the next briefing, I'm going to invite Texas Brian to be here. Because, you know, they have here, they have a public relations gentleman that shows up at these and films them or videos them, but maybe they can come and tell us what they know about what's on their property. We are there, and these gentlemen are getting dual samples, but what are they doing with their samples? You know, when are they going to drill a vent well on their property? When are they going to bear the expense of putting a vent well